I'm going to go ahead and pronounce this 9 TKA for the time being. But that's a word right there, meaning 9 in Polish. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. It's a 2 to 4 player abstract board game invented by Adam Koltza in 2007. So, yep, play it on this board. The objective of 9 GKA is to conquer more 3x3 sections than other players. A section is conquered by a player if they have more stones of their color in the section than the other player. In the case of a tie, the section is not conquered by anyone. If 2 or more players have conquered the same amount of sections, the winner is the one who started the game last among them. The game consists of 3 phases. The first phase, you place exactly 1 black stone, which is a neutral stone, in the 9 sections. These stones can be placed on the outer cells of the inner 9x9 region. That can be placed in the outer line. On the second and 10th rows, B and J. Yeah. Below is an example of the position. All right. During the second phase, players take turn placing one of their stones per turn on the edge squares of the board, except for the corners. This phase ends when all 36 edge squares are occupied with stones. Below is an example of the position. All right. The third phase is about conquering the 3x3 sections. During the phase, players take turns sliding their stones from the edge of the board along a straight orthogonal line of empty squares toward the inner region of the board until they hit another stone. The stone cannot stop just at any square. They slide until they hit another stone or the edge of the board. I guess which would be yeah. Once the stone stops in the inner region of the board, it stays there until the end of the game. It cannot move anymore. During the game, some stones may become blocked if the square next to them becomes occupied with another stone. If a player cannot move any of their stones, then they pass the turn. The game ends when all players run out of moves. All right. We've played this a few times before, so there'll eventually be a playlist below. There'll be the rules in the description. All right.
And the pronunciation in Polish is dziewiątka. Dziewiątka.
All right.
Which is not super far off from the Bosnian Serbo-Croatian, which would be dziewiątka.
Yeah, I had a Polish teacher.
Oh, for real?
For electronic music.
Nice.
In grad school.
So what I remember is that it's really hard ahead of time and early to really think.
Yeah, there's not that much strategy right on this
super
phase.
Solid strategy.
I think it's definitely not on this phase, but then second phase kind of, I think there's more, and then on the third phase there's even more.
For sure.
So you can't place it on the outer line, so the outer squares have a lot less. Well, that's everything except the middle one. The outer squares have a lot less options on where you can put them, especially the corner squares. So one way, we were talking about music track that Matt sent before this. So there's a lot of all the different tracks were kind of had like a different starting volume or different, like the peaks and valleys, I guess, the peaks and lows of each track were fairly different. So generally at the beginning, you want to do something called normalize it, where it's just making all the tracks kind of have the same peak at a point, because that'll make it easier mixing it, and that's just called normalizing a track.
So is that the equivalent of just like letting it run?
What was that?
Close before you start to play anything. Is that the equivalent of letting it record for like 5 to 6 seconds before you play
No, no. That's like
anything?
just the size of like the audio. I'm at a loss for what should we call it, but like the size of the audio, like in the track. So like some were just like very small, so you kind of have to
Right,
like.
right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you have to turn this way up.
But like that's not always a volume problem. So they could be really small and still be the same volume as something that's really big. But you generally want to what's called normalize it and make it the same size. So when you do mix it, then they look the same size when you're mixing it. And that will help on that should help on peaking too. There's others just like mixing individual sections. Like you can definitely do more than just mix the individual track. Like there's sections that you can kind of go into. All right, so I need to place them down. And that's fairly easy. I should be able to find a video on that pretty easily. The normalizing thing, I looked in.
Yeah, just poke it around on the internet. It looks like you can teach it how to like auto normalize and
Yeah. Yeah, just more like yeah. What I said instead of just mixing each track, there's ways to do it where you can do each sections.
yeah.
Or just even like have crescendos and decrescendos for each part. Like you can like make a line of what the volume is and decrease and increase that line throughout the entire
You know what? You can, and it's a yellow fucking line, isn't it?
I think you can change the color.
And
I don't know if the line. Yeah.
Well, my thing is I always forget how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to figure it out this time. I just couldn't figure it out. And I was like, well, because...
Oh, yeah, because I think you have done it before on other tracks. I'm pretty sure I've seen it on other tracks.
Yeah.
It's just... Yeah, you have to, like, enable a setting. You have to enable some setting, and then it just the lines just show up, so... And same way of that, you can add effects to different things too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Decisions.
It's not giving me a noise for when you go.
Weird.
It did a few times, but just not those last two. Not that one either. For me. pretty cold last night. Got a little cold in the house for this
Oh
morning.
yeah, it's getting cold here too. We don't run that heat at night, boy.
Yeah, same.
It's great. I love snuggling under blankets.
Yeah, I got a few that I was. And you mentioned, yeah, Watson sleeps right on my chest pretty much, and in between my arm, and then lays on my chest, kind of. But
Nice.
his lower body's under, like, in between my arm, inside.
Yeah, Spooky smacked me in the eye this morning.
We'll most likely only do this game today, but definitely try to do some board space stuff next week.
Oh yeah. I don't know what the problem is. I'll try uninstalling it, reinstalling it.
Yeah, I was glad it still had my username like saved onto it, because I knew it was Mangotown T,
Yeah.
but I knew it wasn't Mangotown Travis, because that was too long for a username. That's the only one that I was too long out of all the websites we've done. But,
Should have made your name T-Dad.
nice. There we go. Sounds back. For now. And still not there for your turn. Well, yeah, it just happened.
There we go. Chicky. That's the way the cookie crumbles. I think they were very holiday themed.
Yeah. I've played it a few times, but each different time it's been a few different colors. 4 colors to choose from. What to do? Yeah, I was going to move that one next. I thought I should have done that. Alright.
Oh, you did it, boy.
No. Nice.
Yes. I don't know. I'll tell you what, it's hard to see so far ahead that I could really tell you.
Yeah, I know this part of the game ends kind of fast. Once we got the other two sections are a little bit longer, I think. Because when it gets like a few more, and then none of us are really blocking each other, so we can just kind of play some down.
Yeah, that's true.
Nice. Tie this one. Got that. Damn. Yeah, you blocked that one. I don't win that one. So I do just need to go for a tie, I think. Let's see.
That's true.
The tie would still be a tie in my book. I think with two players, just because it's a tie.
You heard it here first, folks. A tie would still be a tie in my book.
I think you got a pretty good chance, didn't it? There's a few that you blocked that I wasn't expecting. I just didn't see at the start. That one specifically. Yeah, these finished up pretty fast. Cool. No! Oh, and you got that.
Together, green and red.
That one uncontested.
Rule the universe. Wild.
Will it be a tie? Looks like a tie.
Oh, weird.
Nice. How do you pronounce it again? How do you say it?
Dziewiątka.
Nice.
They're not perfect. I don't speak any Polish, but I do speak other Slavic languages. So they're families.
See you on the next game. Goodbye.
Bye.